Hello guys. Guys, today the topic of the video is regarding ramp down of the processes in outsourcing industry. So guys, especially I am talking about the industry where it is not related to IT. Okay. This is like BPO, KPO. So my most of the experience is in this industry. And I would like to share the information which I have observed in my 15 or 16 years of my experience. I think it's more than 15 years. So I would like to share the points where if people all over the world can focus on those points, then it can improve business as well as it can stop the ramp down of the processes. The reason of ramp down. So first point I would like to share what is the reason these days the ramp down, and I am specially talking about those processes which needs good knowledge and basically most of my experience is in US healthcare, and it is very domain based. This is a domain where knowledge is required along with the analytical skills. I am especially talking about the high dollar collection processes where the collection of a hospital is around like $10 million, $16 million, because most of my experience is in the collections where hospitals were collecting $16 million, $15 million. Okay, so I have worked with those hospitals processes. So what I have found, guys, first point I would like to share the gap, where the gap is in this industry, and I would like to compare this industry with the IT industry, like why there is an edge in IT industry. One thing, guys, one thing, like in outsourcing, like in BPO, KPOs, like especially in US healthcare, the process is like US healthcare. Like we have a ladder where most of the growth is in operations. Okay, there is a growth in quality but very less, and operation is completely like single ladder. Okay, like you have seen SMEs, senior analyst, SMEs or something like that, team leads. So where the gap is, the problem lies that there is a contradiction in the process of the growth of the individual. People who have knowledge and do not have good management skills, or I won't say good management skills, but people who are not aggressive much, and but they are very knowledgeable, they just limited to SME positions, because management prefer to bring forward the people who are into more management skills. And by management skills they mean in India that they should be aggressive on the people, okay, to get their targets. Their tactics, like I had made a video on war tactics, their strategy is very weak. They totally try to, their strategy is like 20-30%, 70% is more aggression. Okay, their strategies are very weak, what I have seen. And what happens, the knowledgeable people do not get growth into this industry, and this industry is for the young people. After some times they leave this industry, and I have seen in my experience that there is a knowledge gap now in this industry. Okay, people with the knowledge have left the organizations, or they are still working in at the SME levels, okay, who have gained a lot of experience, and they are not given exposure at the management level. Okay, so because in IT industry what happens, in IT industry there are three ladders. One is quality, who does testing of the softwares. Okay, quality is about testing and checking where the flaw is. Second thing, which is common in BPO and KPO industry also, there is a quality department which audits how the work is going on. Second ladder in IT industry is operations, which is common, like people are doing production and reporting to management, and management is reporting to the client, which is onshore in other countries. Okay, third ladder, which is in IT industry but not in this outsourcing industry, which is technical ladder. Like we have technical managers, there is a position called technical managers, technical AVPs, VPs. So those people those people have specialized knowledge. Okay, they knows the technicalities. So what happens, this outsourcing industry where not much technical knowledge is required like IT industry, they don't have that ladder, so due to which it becomes very difficult for the people who are knowledgeable, and there are brackets at the lower levels. Okay, you won't get salary much more than that if you remain at the executive level. And this, I have told you that this industry is for young people, so after some time at a collection SME or executive level, there will be an auto exit for them. Okay, and sorry guys for the interruption. So third is like technical field, and but in like in BPO KPO industry, there is an auto exit for people who are they leave themselves also, and they are people who have good knowledge. They do not, most of the people do not get themselves to the SME level also, because management knows that if they want to keep their people up at the ladder, who have aggression, who thinks that they can manage the team through aggression, they put them into the SME level. Okay, because that's the only way to get up into the ladder of operation. So in this way, the people with knowledge are discarded. And I have seen in US healthcare, there is a big gap. People who are the part of industry were having a lot of knowledge, but due to no growth into this industry, they have left behind. And a lot of people will say there are a lot of videos also, like you need to have command or something like that. Okay, so due to that lack of knowledge, okay, due to that gap, those processes get crumbled. They don't know how to get the proper collections. They do not focus on those areas which can bring good collections, and the people who are working like, and this is the first point I would say, that with that thing, due to that missing ladder of technical knowledge, it becomes less growth for people who have good knowledge, and sometimes they do not keep themselves up to the collection SME also. Okay, they just need to be good in production. Okay, but their knowledge is values very less. They knows that their knowledge has value, but it is not getting, they do not provide incentive to that knowledge. Okay, like they have very less importance to their the incentives. It is more focused on numbers, okay, rather than knowledge and everything, which can bring more collections. Okay, so this is where it is very much lacking. Second thing is that, I was in a company, I won't name it, I have worked in several companies. The proportion of freshers and what we say experienced people, it is not into balance. Okay, the balance is not good. Earlier, what was there when I joined this industry, it was like 80-20. 80% experienced people, 20% or 30%, max to max 30% were freshers, and they were getting assistance from 70%. 30% people were getting assistance from 70% of the people. Now what is happening? Now it is ups and down. Now it is 70% freshers and 30% experienced people. Okay, in starting they keep like 60-40 or something like that, but after that, whenever people left the organization or leave the organization, they just replace every experienced person with the fresher person in order to increase their profits. Okay, and whenever any experienced person goes, it goes with their knowledge, and whenever any fresher person join this industry, I'm not against, see, let me tell you, I'm not against freshers, but there should be a balance. So among 30%, also they are not all capable of assisting 70% of the individual. Among 30%, like 1/3, 2/3 is like about average, and 1/3 is very good knowledgeable people, like, okay, so they have a lot of burden on them. Okay, and they need to assist all the freshers. They are told that you need to help that, you need to help that, and naturally they will tell that you need to get help from these 30%, but all the freshers will go to that person only which has good knowledge. Okay, because they want that quality should not be compromised, and I agree with the freshers, but and the targets of that person, due to their designation, their targets are not compromised, like their targets should have been decreased if they are helping 70% of the person, because their 50 or 60% of the time will be about helping those people, and people who are made trainers, even those are sometimes do not have good knowledge. So they are, because they have a general knowledge, not about process specific, because every process has different softwares, every hospital has different softwares. Okay, so due to the misbalance of these freshers and experienced people, it impacts the collections. Okay, and there is an insecurity at the lower management people, that if we will appreciate through promotions to the knowledgeable people, then how will bring the aggressive people into the ladder, and they try to misbehave with them. I have seen, like, if it is not misbehave, they treat all equal. Treat all equal means, try to understand, I'm not against I'm not in favor of inequality. Means if a person have knowledge, he should have given little benefits more than the average or below average person. Okay, so their treatment is equal. The aggression is equal on the person who has knowledge. Try to understand me. People are at management role. I'm not saying they should not be aggressive. They should be wherever it is required. But sometimes they treat everyone equally in terms of aggression. Okay. In other terms, they are not equal, but in terms of aggression, sometimes they will be aggressive to that experienced person who is more experienced than them, who has more knowledge in them. And I have seen a lot of ads regarding, like, you must need no reporting and all. I can understand, you can hire one person, MIS person, and you can resolve the problem of reporting. Okay, and that knowledgeable person can help, like, this needs to be like this. The main thing is that product knowledge is not given much importance. I remember there was a manager We asked that why there is a lot of imbalance in hiring freshers and experienced people. What was her? It was a lady, and she said, in exchange of you, we will get two people. Okay, the salary, in terms of salary, the salary you are taking, in exchange we can get two people. But what will you do with those two people if they don't know how to work? And after that, there is a lot of pressure on that 10 or 15% people. They left the organization. I have seen people leaving the organizations due to a lot of pressure and due to a lot of aggression faced on them. They said that what's the benefit? What's the benefit? Why shouldn't I? They compromise, and they just they know that they will not get growth on the basis of their product knowledge, because product knowledge is not required in growth. That percentage is required very less. Okay, and they also know, the knowledgeable people also know where to strike the hammer to get the collections. Okay, when there was a competition in my process, my managers were asking, how do you get the collections, more collections? They had no idea in the initial days. Why? Because they were not having knowledge. They don't know where to strike. After reviewing my production data, they came to know, oh, this is the place where we should strike. And they did data fudging and everything in that, to help the people, other people to whom they trust more. Okay, so this is the second most technical reason I have shared. Okay, so I would say, and third, this is very rare reason at the client level. Some clients, what they does, they just clean their backlog and just leave the process. They just leave the party from which they were getting the services. They just stop paying them. Their main target focus was, okay, just clean the backlog. But they were very, their margins were very less, and they were very small. They were like physicians things like that, especially physicians who are not Americans. American means they have a different race. Please don't mind guys who are from a different race, but the way of doing business from the people from different race and the way of doing business from who are what I would say white people, okay, it's totally different. But I would like to balance it all also. I have also seen unrealistic targets from the client side also. They think that every case can be sorted out in 15 minutes. They just focus on numbers instead of dollar amount. Okay, and the internal incentives totally based on numbers. So what happens? People who does easy cases and just get good numbers and get good incentives, get good ratings, and they go into the management with very less product knowledge, and this circle goes on and client goes away. Like rain go away, then client go away. So these are some of the points I have shared. And from the day I joined this industry at the end of 2007, and I have seen the behavior of management was very bad towards the employees. I have worked in the brands and they don't know how to behave with the people. And I am telling you, in most reputed organizations also, they think that only aggression can solve their problem, only aggression. And I don't know how do they get promoted at the higher level. I have also seen in this industry people who were thrown by the organizations on the basis of integrity, they also get promotions in other companies. And I don't know how do they get jobs in other companies, especially who are overthrown by the cases of integrity. I have seen a manager physically assaulted a person to his chairs. He was sitting on his chair and he was so aggressive that he strikes with his leg on his chair. This was a kind of aggression required by this industry. Sorry to say, not industry, but the people. That they think that if you are aggressive, they are, this industry might be modern, like you have very good cafeterias, very good interior. And now the behavior is more and more, becoming bad towards the employees. So guys, these were the things I wanted to share with you. I haven't shared the points like favoritism or something like. I don't want to go into that, okay? Because it will reflect that he is saying that because something like that. It is common everywhere. Favoritism is everywhere, and there are a lot of industry where favoritism is played and people get promoted. I don't want to go into that because this is a common issue all over the industry, most of the industry where it is very much non-technical. They are based on very non-technical knowledge. I would say healthcare industry is little semi-skilled industry where people learn with their experience, not through trainings. They learn through client interactions. Clients used to had meetings with complete team. They were sharing knowledges. They were picking up the cases. There was a time. Okay. So guys, this was the information which I just wanted to share. It's up to you. It was my observation. Okay, I'm not sure if it is your observation too. So that's the information I wanted to share. That these are the reasons which I have found for the reason of processes ramp down. Thank you guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Such a long video. Thank you.